AmeriCorps staff members say they are the latest government employees now searching for a new job. Thanks for joining us. I'm Jennifer Meckles.
And I'm Mark Salinger. Late last week, the Trump administration told members of the National Civilian Community Corps that they would be discharged from their service terms early. These young volunteers work across the country on local service projects, including right here in Colorado.
9 News reporter Janelle Finch spoke with a now former member about being let go.
Mary Kate Sweeney says Sunday she returned from an AmeriCorps service trip in Arizona. 2 days later, she learned that that would be her last trip.
Life doesn't always go according to plan.
It just really sucks.
Just ask Mary Kate Sweeney. Her plan wasn't to be home in Philly.
Definitely not.
She says she was just in Denver, ready to be deployed to Oklahoma with her AmeriCorps NCCC team.
Our next project I was really excited for because it was going to be working with the Boys and Girls Club.
But the Trump administration had other plans. Last week, AmeriCorps staff members were placed on leave following cuts to the program by Elon Musk and Doge.
We kind of thought that we had dodged that bullet.
Tuesday, Sweeney found out they didn't.
During our lunch period, they just called us in and told us that the program was over and that we would be leaving that night. So many people were crying because people's entire lives just got upended in 2 sentences.
She says the next few hours were chaotic as people packed up to head home.
It definitely came as a shock to everyone.
Sweeney says she joined AmeriCorps as a way to serve her country during her gap year.
I didn't have any idea what I wanted to major in with college before. And I really liked the projects that we did that involved education. So I've been thinking more about going into that.
She says she'll miss taking advantage of the opportunities AmeriCorps gave her access to.
If you had told me last year, I was able to operate a chainsaw and cut down a tree, I'd be like, there's no way.
She says she wasn't expecting to reflect on her program until July, after graduation. But life doesn't always go according to plan.
I'm so happy that I did, even though our time was cut short. And I'm mad that, our country is not making national service a priority when I feel like it's just such a great program that benefits Americans and the people that do it.
Sweeney says she's applied to work at the local grocery store and movie theater until she goes to college later this year. She says what's in front of her isn't as cool as traveling the world and giving back, so she's also looking for volunteer opportunities to stay connected to her community. Janelle Finch, 9 News.
Chilly start to the Easter holiday didn't stop that many folks from braving the cold this morning to attend Red Rock's annual sunrise service. Good news is that we warmed up in time for another event happening at Red Rock's tonight for all those who celebrate 420. Rapper Wiz Khalifa is rolling in for his 420 on the Rocks concert tonight. Quite the pivot, Corey, to go from Easter sunrise service to 420.
Got a lot going on at Red Rocks.
But that's today. Colorado. I love it.
That is completely how we roll all together. So, yeah, it's going to be a pretty nice evening out there for Wiz Khalifa. We look at these skies out here right now, starting to see these puffy clouds out here, these little cumulus field. We're going to start to introduce afternoon thunderstorms back into the forecast this week here, and that is a real nice change as well. 64 degrees right now at the 9 News studios here in downtown Denver, and 62 currently at DIA. Our snowstorm has moved way out here into Kansas, and it's bringing severe weather to Arkansas and Missouri at this moment here, but in the wake of that, we're pretty clear out here. We've got a few clouds rolling through, a couple of flurries up in the higher elevations. Still waiting to see if we'll get a couple of pop-out showers here out on the eastern plains. But here's your Monday here. We're going to warm things up even more. We'll still see some good sunshine going through the day there. A lot warmer in the morning, getting up there to 71 degrees. So the things that we're also watching that comes with that is some elevated fire danger with the dry air and a little bit of a breeze. We'll warm up to the middle of the week in the 70s, and our next storm system gets here at about Thursday, and we're looking at possibly some widespread afternoon thunderstorms for the first time. I'll talk about that coming up in the forecast.
Corey, thank you. Deputies in Adams County have arrested 3 people after a drive-by shooting just this afternoon. It happened shortly after 2 o'clock on Counter Drive, just north of 104th. The Adams County Sheriff's Office says one person went to the hospital with gunshot wounds. Not clear how they're doing now. Deputies say they have arrested 3 people. They're working with first responders to find a possible second victim. If you have any information on this shooting, please call the Sheriff's Office.
Tonight, Denver police are investigating a shooting that happened off of South Calumet Street and West Arizona Avenue. Happened early this morning just after 5 a.m. DPD says one person was taken to the hospital with a leg injury. They're expected to be okay. Denver police say they're working to identify a suspect. We're still working to learn more about the circumstances that led up to this shooting.
An update now to a story we actually first brought you this morning. Denver police say the two people killed in a crash last night in northwest Denver were actually pedestrians. They were not riding scooters, as police first reported. Now, this happened just before 10 o'clock last night on West 14th and Federal. Denver police initially said the two people were riding on stand-up electric scooters when the driver of a car hit them. Police have now clarified the victims were on foot. Police say the driver stayed on the scene, and DPD is still investigating what happened.
This weekend's snowstorm caused a total slip show on I-70. We talk about it all the time, but when trucks without chains and cars without proper tires try and drive up in the high country without the proper equipment, with all that snow, it doesn't really end well for anyone. But there's one stretch along the mountain corridor where you can now get an even bigger fine if you're caught unprepared. The town of Vail recently passed a local traction law that cranks up those fees. The rule applies to truck drivers who don't carry chains on Vail Pass or spin out and block traffic while breaking the chain rule. Our partners at the Denver Gazette spoke to Vail's police chief about the new law. Since it went into effect, police have already issued 59 citations. Vail's police chief says in most of those cases, truckers did have the required chains with them. They just weren't using them. One trucker even got the maximum fine of over $2,600. Now, according to Colorado State Patrol, the overwhelming majority of truckers are doing the right thing. But as we've seen, it only takes a few to cause all those backups for everyone.
An outdoor company that's known for its bike racks and jogging strollers is now planning to lay off some of its staff based here in Colorado in Longmont. Thule Group says it's planning to cut 22 members of its staff later this year, more than half of the total number of employees at that location. Earlier this week, the company submitted a warn letter to the state. These cuts will affect a variety of roles, from product managers to graphic artists. Today marks 26 years since a tragic day in Colorado that Coloradans will never forget.
13 people were killed in a school shooting at Columbine High School, 12 students and one teacher. Just this year, we lost another victim. The coroner says her death was the result of the injuries she suffered 26 years ago. She was shot twice and paralyzed from the waist down. Now, 26 years later, we remember her and pay tribute to the 13 people who died in 1999.